Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Denver, Colorado. And this is my buddy Puccini. He helps me in the craft room. At least he keeps me company, and this week he's got, looks like Cajun craze highlights on his fur. I don't know what he got into, but we have a fun card for you today. I made mine an anniversary card, and as you know, recently I've been going back to my stash, and part of the reason for that is that the annual catalog is going to retire in May, and I just can't pass up the opportunity to work with some of these beautiful papers that are in our stashes. And so this one is using the Elegantly Said, and the name of the paper is Simply Elegant Specialty Designer Series paper. And my children are very fond of the Art Deco look, and this paper works beautifully for that. So let's just get started and I'll show you what I did. So this is my card, and it's very simple, but I think very elegant looking. And using that designer series paper, and yes, I know I mixed gold and silver together, but that was kind of the look I was going for. Actually passed a sign someplace that I was driving, and there was dark gray and this color. This is Mango Melody, and the combination was so striking that I thought, I'm going to try and recreate something with that color combination. And this is what I came up with. And I made it a happy anniversary card. And then on the inside, I have some more of the papers to bring the outside to the inside. And let me tell you what you need to have in order to make this card. I used a basic gray base that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of Smokey Slate that is 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. Then for the front of the card, I have some Mango Melody pieces here that are 5 1/4. This one is 1 inch wide, and this one is 3/4 of an inch wide. Then I also have this piece, which is 2 inches by 3/4 of an inch. Then I have a piece of silver foil. This is the silver foil that comes out of the blue foil that comes with the Wave suite, and I'll put the exact name up for you on the video. And this is 1 inch by 5 1/4. Then a piece of this beautiful designer series paper, which is very Art Deco looking, and this piece is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. Then I have 2 more pieces of Smokey Slate and 1 piece of basic gray, and the basic gray piece is 1 7/8 by 3/4 of an inch. The gray is 1 3/4 inch by 3/4 of an inch, and then the Mango Melody piece is 1 7/8 by 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and then I'm using some of our ribbon that is the gray granite. I thought with all of the grays going on here, one other color of gray won't matter, and that's what I put here. And then I use the gilded gems for this piece. All right, let me show you how this goes together. The very first thing I'm going to do is build on the front of the card base. So I am going to take this piece of Mango Melody and add some seal to the back of it. And put that in place right along the edge of my card. So just like that, getting a similar border top to bottom and along the side. Then I'm going to take my piece of foil and put that down next, and you'll see that what I'm doing is building across the front of the card. So this needs to be in about, I'd say, 1/4 of an inch. And then the other paper coming in another 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to get my seal put down on this piece of paper and set that right here, like you said, in about, roughly 1/4 of an inch, matching the top and the bottom here. So this piece is straight on here, and I think that will work. Then I'm going to put seal on the back of this beautiful designer series paper. And the only thing you have to watch with this design is which direction your pattern is going. I want my pattern this way, not this way. And so you have to just be careful when you cut this. And I'm going to come in another 1/4 of an inch and match my margins across here. And there we go. There's our front of our card pretty much done. Now, for the inside of the card, I'm going to take my Smokey Slate piece, and I am going to put down my Mango Melody here. And these pieces are 5 1/4. And this one is 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to come in just a tiny bit here on the end and match that top to bottom there. And it looks like I will need a tiny trim here to square that up. There we go. All right. Then this piece of designer series paper, and again, add my seal to that, put some seal down the front, and put this offset by a little less than 1/4 of an inch, but right over the top here, getting that as straight as I can, and matching that top and bottom piece. And once again, I probably need to do just a hair of a trim here at the top. There we go. And that is the inside of the card done. Now then, for the sentiment, again, this is very simple. I made my pieces just a little bit larger than these pieces. So these are 3/4 of an inch by 2 inches to start with. And then this piece goes on next to bring in the darker gray. And I'm going to set that just inside this piece. And I thought matting it this way gave it a little bit of a different look. And we just see a little sliver of that Mango Melody there. Then our stamping. So the stamping came out of the Elegantly Said, and I'm using the Happy Anniversary. And I'm using my basic gray ink, and I think this card just ends up looking very elegant. And I'm going to try this one, get this inked up carefully. This has got a wide border, so I want to make sure I don't get any ink on that border. And get this set on my grid paper here, and then get my Happy Anniversary centered on there. And there we go. Got a nice Happy Anniversary. And this piece should fit just like the other, just inside that edge. And I thought it would be more interesting if it didn't completely mat it all the way around. So right inside here with roughly the same margin as the other piece, in just a little And there we go. There's my sentiment done. All right, now I'm going to put away this ink. And I'm going to take some of that ribbon and cut a length of the ribbon, not very long, because I just want that loop in there. And I'm going to trim this end at an angle. This is already at an angle. And I want that to go like this. And so I'm going to use a glue dot. And I have some glue dots left from a paper pumpkin. I think that's long enough. You know what? I ought to test it and see if it is long enough to go across all of those pieces. And I think it is. It's very close. I'm going to put one of these glue dots here in place on my ribbon and take that little cover off. Sometimes these glue dots are so handy because they're smaller than the regular glue dots, which is kind of nice for tiny places. And I'm going to cross that ribbon just like that and put those two so that they're now glue dotted together. And then I'm going to add another one of these glue dots right on top, right at the join here, and take off that cover. There we go. And put that in place on the back of my happy anniversary. And I think I'm going to center this one. There we go. And so I've got just the tiniest little ribbon trim. That could have been maybe a little bit longer. And then I'm going to add a few dimensionals to the back of my sentiment. And I'm going to put that sentiment in place right down here on the bottom of my card. And this one was closer to the bottom, quarter of an inch, and I moved this one up so it's more like a half an inch. And then I have those gilded gems, and I'm just going to grab one of the smallest of those and put that in place right here on my sentiment. And there, that is the front of the card done. And then just put some adhesive on the back of this piece. Told you this one was easy. It's very fast, very easy. And you could do this design with any designer series paper and just choosing two strips that are complementary to the colors that are inside that. And, oops, well, maybe we should put it that way. No, my chevrons have to go the other way. Okay, and that is in place. And there we go. That is the project for today. How simple was that? And that would be fun to repeat with another kind of designer series paper and turn it into a happy birthday or something else. But there we have a fast and easy, but very elegant, I think, anniversary card. And so that is my project for the day. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, well, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Or you could join my team. It's always a good idea to join Stampin' Up! The deal is $125 worth of product for $99. Then you start with a 20% discount. And if you'd like to chat about it, my information is always listed below the video. There's a couple of words down below the video. Some people have called and told me they have trouble finding it. In most of the videos I've seen, it says show more. And it's right down at the bottom underneath the video either on this side or right over here with a down arrow. And if you push that down, there's all kinds of material that's underneath it. It gives you the dimensions for the card today, a description, sizes, what products I used, links to my store if you wanted to buy some of these products, and my information, including my phone number, is always listed below the video. I'd love to chat with you about it. So that's it for me. Let's see. This is March. My prize for the month is a $30 shopping spree, $60 shopping spree on me. And you get yourself into the drawing by putting an order of any size on my store, lbedinger.stampinup.net, and you get to it through my blog, www.inkandingenuity.com. So, like I said, that's it for me, and I will be back soon with more cards, more projects, and more tips. Bye.